God exists in the most perfect aspect of life, and God exists in what we think, what we label as the imperfect aspect of life. When you realize everything's perfect, then you also realize that the negative stuff is also perfect. The devil is also perfect. The illusion, the sin, the evil shit that humans do is perfect. It's meant to be that way. That contrast is needed. You can never eliminate the devil. You can only transcend it. You can only go through it. You have to experience it to get to the other side. You have to know the darkness to know the light, or else there's no contrast. So it's like, why are there murderers? Why are there rapists? Why are there evil people? You need those evil people to know what a good person is, don't you? like what? But those people, they're not evil. They're just doing evil things. There's a difference. Everyone at their core is perfect, but we're sometimes just lost. It's a temporary state. Even though from when you're born to when you die, your entire life is filled with just evil shit, and you're like evil, even at your core, you're like just like this evil, nasty piece of shit person. That's just a temporary little sliver of life, of your soul. So God made himself in this person that was evil, and he wanted to experience what it would be like to be evil and to do evil, disgusting stuff. To learn from it, to experience the contrast. God wants to know what it's like to suffer, man. That's why we're all suffering. God wants to know the goriest, nastiest side of life. He wants to experience what it feels like to be burned alive, to be skinned alive, to be hung, to drown. God wants to know what it's like to experience all of these different things from all of these different angles that we are. God also wants to know what it's like to experience the serenity and the peace, what it's like to go to die peacefully in your sleep, what it's like to die from illness, right? God wants to know what it feels like to become weak and feel pain and go out slowly. God also wants to know what it's like to go out quickly and just car accident, boom, you're dead. God wants to experience every different aspect of what life is. God wants to experience all the different manifestations of what sex is like, and what food tastes like, and what working feels like, and what not working feels like. He wants to know all the different contrasts. And so just like there's the contrast of all of these different things, there's the contrast in destiny and fate. And that contrast is free will and choice. So to you, it looks like the free will, but to God, it's the destiny and the fate. You can't have one without the other, man. Because if it was just destiny and fate, then we'd all be just zombies. Do you see? We'd all just be like animals. Like the true animals out there that are 100% just instinctive all the time. That's like God controlling them, man. What free will do they have? Do you see what I mean? Yeah, you can get an animal to come up to you, but that's like God controlling the animal to come up to you and you pet it and stuff like that. The closer that the animal is to a human, the more of a personal choice and free will it seems like they have. So dogs and cats that we live with, it looks like they have their own little personalities, and they do. It's meant to be that way. Just like we have our own little personalities too. And so our own POV and our own experience of it, we have our own personalities, our likes and our dislikes. It's meant to be that way. But if you don't have this illusion of free will, if you don't have this idea of I have my choice in any given moment, then you're just this zombie, this AI that's out there, and it's just you're like a robot. You're like the puppet that's just you're just acting stuff out. And honestly, guys, that is really how it is. You are just acting stuff out. Even when you're enlightened and you think that you're in control and you're aligned with God and you're doing stuff, you're still just acting out whatever God has in store for you in any given time. And so you realize you're like, there's really no point in fighting this anymore. There's really no point. There's really no point in me feeling like crap all the time. It's way easier and lighter to feel good and do good and be active and want to participate than to just like recede into nothingness and like give yourself away, give your power away. God wants himself to feel powerful through you. He wants to experience that. God already knows she is all powerful. He already knows that, man. He knows that he's all there is in life. He knows that. He knows all of this stuff that we know, man. Like, don't you guys get it? Like, when we make these grand discoveries, like you have these people that are geniuses, like think about it, Mozart and like Einstein and Tesla, these guys, these people that incarnated, and they were geniuses. They were like on the cutting edge of science and art and discovery. Everything. Okay? God already knows all of that shit, man. God is all of that stuff. God is the ultimate genius, man. But God's like the infinite genius, man. You think like Einstein was the smartest motherfucker ever? God is like Einstein times infinity, infinite to the Einstein, man. In control of everything. You can't pull one over on God. There's no tricking God, guys. So don't fight it. You're not gonna get past it. And that's why, like in Islam, there's the perfect idea of submitting, surrendering. That's why they pray and they bow down when they pray. It's beautiful. It's perfect. It is the physical act of surrender. It is the ritual of surrender. And you're going to do it multiple times a day. One of the hardest things that I had gone through, that like what I call like the mind fuck that like really, really like tortured me, that was like really just, oh my God, I can't escape this. It dawned on my pea brain little mind, it dawned on it that like life really is endless. There's no escaping it. It goes on forever. It is eternal. And the eternity of everything, like the vastness of it, the how huge that is, it shocked my little brain. And like this terror, this fear overwhelmed me and like just traumatized me, guys. And it was like this like psychotic, it traumatized me into like this psychotic break, man. I was like, oh my God, what's real, what's not real? There's like, oh my, and if you ponder it enough, like I mentioned before, if you like smoke some weed or like do like a psychedelic drug and you think about it and it dawns on you like the eternity of everything, it will fuck with you because it's too big. It's kind of meant to scare you into like an ego death. It's like the ego death is like the ultimate surrender. It is like when the little you, the physical construct in you, recedes into nothingness, and like all you're left with is like the grand awareness that is like fully aligned and like knowing of God. It's like a little snapshot of how God sees without the ego. That recession into nothingness that your ego like dies into, that's what we're all craving. We want to experience and see life through that lens, or no lens. Your mind is the lens, man. Your mind are the glasses that you see everything through. But when you see beyond it, when you see the true sight and you hear the true sound that isn't always judging and labeling and doing and like in the mind, when it's not like that, the peace. It's just like this background piece. And it's just bubbles up in you. And it animates you. It moves you. Think about that, guys. You are this physical body. You are just this meat suit. Just muscle and fat, and like skin and hair and whatever, right? And there is this animating force in you that moves you around, that sustains you. You're breathing, but inside your body, all of your cells and all of this different stuff is happening automatically. You're not consciously in charge of that stuff, man. It's keeping you open and alive to this reality all the time. It never sleeps. It's always there. You are that. We are nothing. We're like, we think we're like super significant to like our own personal like experience of stuff, but we're a joke. And it's like, we're a joke and we're not a joke. That's the thing with this, man. And you need that comparison and that contrast to realize that. You do. You need that duality to understand the physical. You do. It's impossible without it. On the level of mind I'm talking about. You need to understand that you're nothing, but that you are also something. That in your nothingness, you are like the supreme, powerful creator of all that is. You are that. There's that book, it says like, I am that. Perfect. I am that I am. In the stillness I am. You know, like you're craving that. You're craving the understanding of that. You want to know what it's like. Everybody wants to know their best lives. Guys, your best life is being in alignment. Your best life is the union. Your best life is the enlightenment. Your best life is the life free from suffering, right? Isn't it? How can you have your best life if you're suffering? It's very simple. So you have to ask yourself, how do I become free of suffering? And then you start getting into like this Buddhist stuff, guys. But it doesn't matter because all the religions are the same. Very basic, very basic. When you boil it all down to it, it's like surrender to God. Have faith. Just that, that's it. That's it. And then like all the different various manifestations of what surrendering looks like. What submitting looks like.